Coach Ty Hayworth, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Because let me get to these comments real quick, and I'll get to you. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah, Coach Jamie Small to keep uh, different topics going. Thoughts on fold inside zone blocking. Hey, if it gets you better angles, got to do it. Patrick Galloway, same side, toss, bash read, power read, all of them only change one or two things for each guy. It's very inexpensive. 100%, very inexpensive to do that. And then my boy Carlo, Hornet Bama, baby. Heck yeah, we uh that's a play at Gardner Webb we ran. Carlo, correct me if I'm wrong. That's the one we scored on Liberty in 2015, I believe. Kyle Horton scored on Hornet Bama, I believe, and blew that game open. One of the best games I've ever been a part of. Anyway, Coach, how are you?
Doing good. How are you doing, Coach?
Fantastic. We are rolling along. It is 10:22. Are you in Central Time Zone? Are you still
No, we're in Eastern Time Zone, so
Eastern?
we're in
That's
the
what I thought.
far. You think in Tennessee? You talking that far northeast tip? That's where we're at.
Yeah, yeah,
Five
yeah, yeah,
minutes from Virginia, about 25 minutes from North Carolina.
yeah. Because since my friend Jacob, he moved from Kingsport out to Memphis. He took a job at Amazon, and so I know he is in Central. I couldn't remember if he was still in Central at that point. But yeah, but Coach, you want to go ahead and share, and we'll get to going.
Absolutely, we'll get rolling.
Yeah.
So just a couple minutes just to introduce myself as I'm getting these slides pulled up. Uh, my name's Ty Hayworth. I'm the offensive line coach at Dobyns-Bennett High School in Northeast Tennessee. You know, I've been coaching this is my 6th year coaching football, 4th year coaching the offensive line. I have a background in offensive line play. I grew up an O lineman. Played college ball at Wake Forest University over in North Carolina. I had a cup of coffee in NFL, got my 3 days in with the Jacksonville Jaguars, and that was it. But it's one of those things that is what it is. But I learned a lot along the way, and I jumped straight into to coaching, and I love it. Working with these kids, trying to help them be successful, that kind of stuff. That's what we do. That's what we're all about. And to me, we coach a position group that a lot of times with kids in this generation does not have a ton of buy-in. Not a lot of people want to be an offensive lineman. They don't, these kids want all the stats. They want the catches. They want the rushing yards. They want the tackles, all that stuff, for a kid, nowadays in high school, to be an offensive lineman, you got to give up a little bit of that selfishness, and we all know that especially if you coach or have played offensive line, and I have a specific way that I teach it and the specific way that I go about it, and at Wake Forest my junior year we wanted to have an identity. We came up with the Beef Boys. Like, we rolled with that. We came up with this whole thing, and I said when I got my first O-line job, that's what we were going to be. I said we were going to take that mindset, that culture, because we were bought in, we loved it, we rolled with it, and I've done that for the past 4 years, and my kids have absolutely loved it. And I have kids begging me to play on the offensive line. They want to be a Beef Boy now because of some of the things that we do, and we just make it fun. I tell them all the time, I'm going to coach you hard, but I'm going to love you hard too. Like, we're gonna have fun, but we're gonna get work done. So I'm just going to show you guys a slideshow I give to my kids at the beginning of every spring and summer. So I'm actually about to give this presentation to my kids in the next couple weeks as we get rolling, getting ready for spring ball. And this is just what it is. It's our culture and our mindset of how we attack it every day, and what it's like to be an offensive lineman at Dobyns-Bennett High School, and what my expectations are for you. So I'll just get rolling through this. But, you'll see a lot. I'm wearing the O-Line Mastermind shirt. A lot of the stuff that I teach comes from, Big Duke Miniweather. I had the opportunity last year to go and work with him for one of the Final Five camps in Nashville.
We might have lost Coach for a second. We'll see if we can get him back. But until Coach gets back, this stuff is great. I don't know if y'all are big on culture in your position group. You need to be. You need to get back. You need to have some type of a culture. You there, Coach?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we're good. There you go. Go ahead.
All right, cool. So just talking about the mindset, there's no greater joy in life than moving a man from point A to point B against his will. I talk about as an offensive lineman, it's fantastic. You take a D lineman, you drive him into a linebacker's lap and finish him into the ground. Yes, that's one of the best feelings in the world. But me as a coach, I'm moving you from point A to point B against your will. You might be on board for it, but I'm going to challenge you in ways that you've never been challenged. And I'm going to move you from point A to point B to make you a better man, a football player, a husband, father, eventually an adult in life, a functioning member of society. So that's our mindset across the board, is we're going to move each other and push each other from point A to point B, even if it is against our will. And then here it is, the beef boy culture. Like I said in the beginning, we're the beef boys, and that stands for something. That's just not just, we're a bunch of hogs and stuff like that. And it ties in great, but we have a motto, and it's an acronym, and we've had to edit it since playing college ball, but it's an acronym: beefed up, be excellent every freaking day. And that's everything we do. And like I said, we have a mission statement to be excellent in everything we do, football, school, life included. We live by this statement. If you are at my football practice, you hear me say be excellent probably 13,000 times in one practice. I mean, be excellent every freaking day. We live by that motto. We've got shirts. We've got everything with the beefed up mindset on it. We're the beef boys, and everything we do, whether it's the first rep of practice, whether it's indie drills, we talk about being excellent in every step of it. And, the guys buy in and they live by it. It's some great stuff. We talk about having traits to be successful. And guys, you're probably going to know all of these things, but this is what I go about teaching these kids and working with these kids in every aspect of it. We talk about toughness, the ability to execute small and large details when situations are less than ideal. It's easy to get the job done, if you're getting a base look, if you're getting a base, 3-4 look, and you're running inside zone, what your rules are. It's going to be easy to accomplish that. Now, when it gets hard, when they start moving guys, when they start showing different looks that maybe we've not seen in practice, are you going to be mentally tough enough for that? Or, did you tweak your ankle and you're having to battle through in the fourth quarter? You're tired, all that stuff. We know it. Teaching those kids that toughness isn't just, the next play. It's mental toughness. It's physical toughness, emotionally tough. We talk about all the time that sometimes our emotions can go up and down in the swing of a game. Being emotionally tough to be able to play the next play. If you get your butt beat one play, you got to wipe it off and go to the next one and be ready to step in and not let that last play affect the next play. Teamwork. I mean, I played for, I don't know if any of you guys know Jonathan Heimbach, who right now is the offensive line coach for the XFL, the Arlington XFL team. His big thing is 5-1. We had, when I was playing for him at Wake, we had 5-1 t-shirts made, and he that was his thing. He preached 5-1, 5-1. That's what teamwork is as an offensive lineman. The ability of team members to work together, communicate effectively, anticipate and meet each other's demands, and inspire confidence, resulting in a coordinated collective action. The definition for teamwork is offensive line play. I mean, that whole definition is what we do as offensive linemen. And, preaching that to my kids, you're not by yourself in this. Just because you might have a single block right here, you got to know what everybody else is doing. We've got to work together. And, if you're going to be successful, we've got to have teamwork. If our group is going to be successful, we've got to have teamwork. Consistency. Consistency leads to momentum. The more consistently you do something, the easier it becomes, and the more momentum you build. And that's just that. You do something over and over and over again. I say it all the time. Practice doesn't make perfect. Perfect practice gives you the ability to make the plays when you need to make them. You're never going to be perfect, right? We can practice our drills, though, as perfect as we can, so that when we get out there in the battlefield, Duke says this all the time. If, in the heat of the moment, when you start to lose control, you're going to fall back on your most basic teachings and trainings. If we consistently train with our technique and our mindset, when it gets into the heat of the battle and things get crazy, you're going to be able to fall back on that basic level of training. We want that basic level of training to be as high as possible so you can consistently execute the job that needs to be done. Trust, we rely on the person beside us. You feel safe with them, have confidence they're not going to hurt or violate you. We trust each other. We got to trust the guy beside us going to do the job. The Patriots always talk about do your job the Patriot way, do your job and do it well. We trust that everybody is going to do their job. And then technique, which is probably one of the most important things. And it's the tools, the vehicle to execute your job. You give that, you use great technique and you're in the right spot, you're going to have a chance to do the job right. But that's where the consistency rolls in with it. Power, we're going to give maximum effort every single day. That's a part of that beef boy mindset, to be excellent every freaking day. We're going to give max effort. We're going to, every single thing we do. And then finish. Finish comes in a lot of different things, whether it's we're finishing reps in the weight room, finishing sprints and conditioning. We're finishing, we're finishing the block. We're finishing guys through the echo of the whistle. And the physical definitions, to bring or come to a stopping point or limit. Finish may stress completion of a final step in the process. Well, I know that final step, and I'm pass proing, is that guy's not going to touch the quarterback. And so I'm going to finish that rep until that ball's gone so that guy doesn't touch my quarterback. Or if I'm in a run game, I'm finishing through the echo of that whistle. I'm not letting up until that guy's dug into the ground. And, we are big on finishing blocks at Dobyns-Bennett. And we keep stats. Offensive linemen don't have stats. We keep stats. We keep blocks leading to touchdown. We keep pancake blocks, knockdowns. And then we have sacks allowed. Those are my 3 stats that I keep on all my guys. And we track it, and those kids are competitive. They want to have as many pancake blocks. They don't want to give up any sacks, and they buy into it. And I show it on the board every day, every Sunday when we come in. Hey, this is the updated leaderboard. Who's got the most pancakes? For it, because typically you don't get those stats, so I try to give it to them as much as possible. We talk about our run game philosophy. No matter what the scheme is, sometimes, this past year we've been more of a wide zone team. We've been in the pass gap, power, counter, whatever it is. Whatever thing we're doing in the run game, we're trying to create displacement. We want to move a guy so we can create space. That's it. We want to displace them out of where they want to be. They want to hold that gap. We're going to move that gap 3 inches, 6 inches, whatever. Just those little creases are what's going to create space. We want to create displacement everywhere, whether we're running power, counter, wide zone. Think about the philosophy of your run game. If you create displacement, what's going to happen? Good things are going to happen. Our pass pro philosophy, all it is, we want to create time. We want to create space. And I've got, stats for, how long it takes for our quarterbacks average to get the ball out. So we know that we've got about generally 4 seconds that we want to, protect for. If we can protect for 4 seconds, ideally, we're in good shape. Realistically, 2.5, 3 seconds is when the ball should be out. But, we're playing high school football, and sometimes the quarterbacks take a little bit more time to get that ball out. So we want to create time, create space for the quarterbacks to move around. We don't want it to be all jumbled up mess to where there's no room for our quarterback to create space in the pocket. So when we have specific rules for that and whatnot. And then we talk about our 5 rules of pass protection. This is, again, another Duke Manyweather. I stole this from him, basically. But it was a lot of the same things that I taught. But it just put it in a much easier way to explain it, and my kids were able to understand, and they're able to self-identify as they learn this rules to pass protection. And I won't go into a lot of the details of it, just because, it's you can find his stuff on his Twitter, his Instagram. He goes through a lot of this stuff, and I'm here talking about culture, but this is the first thing my kids learn. They're going to learn the 5 rules of pass pro before they even step out and take a rep from me. They're going to learn stance, get out your stance, get to the spot, create space. We're going to have half man leverage, even weight distribution, and then we're going to have the 3-headed monster as patience with our punch. Know your strike zone, first meaningful contact, which number 2 of that 3-headed monster might be the most important when you talk about your punch, and then you got to anchor it in the fight. I've been blessed to have a great offensive line. We take a lot of pride in not giving up sacks. We gave up 3 sacks on an entire season last year, playing 11 games, and we dropped back and throw it about 60% of the time. So being able to, to really hone in on this, and, we spend a lot of time pass pro, our basic pass pro techniques. And, we do blitz pickup 3 days a week with our offensive coordinator, our quarterbacks and our running backs. And to make sure that when we drop back, we know quarterback's going to have time, and it's on our receivers to get open to make those plays. And we're going to give them an opportunity to do that. And then again, O-line masterminds mindset, run game rules. We're going to strike, we're going to leverage, we're going to drive, we're going to finish. That's just what it is. That's how we do things. And I always go back to the traits to be successful. You talk about consistency. I throw this picture of Joe Thomas up. 10,353 straight snaps or something like that he played in the NFL. Talk about consistency. He's the picture of consistency of offensive line play. He dominated, and that picture says enough as it is. So we live by this. We talk about it. When we talk through our run game, progression, we're talking about the strike, the leverage, the drive, and the finish. So it's the same consistent things that they hear from me all the time. And so they know what to expect. They know what they're going to get every single day. Nothing's going to change up as far as their technique goes, as far as how I'm going to coach them, that kind of stuff. So when they know what to expect, they know, they can go a little bit faster. They can go a little harder. They're not going to be surprised. We do. I talk about culture, buy-in, getting kids excited about playing offensive line. I have a graphic design background a little bit. So we're going to get our offensive line. We're going to have pictures, and I'm going to make social media posts because these kids love social media. Like, they're all about, even though they're playing a selfish position, they still got a little selfish bone in them, and they want to be able to post stuff on. They want to get those cool shots on social media. So, I'm going to make posts like these, have graphics like these. I'm going to share it on my social media. I send it to them. They can share on their social media, stuff like that. It's little things, man. These guys, they really, they buy in. We get the graphics. The beef of the week, is our guy. And I didn't get a picture of it, but we actually have a trophy out of all of we do a position group of the week every game. Which player there was a player of the week. So we have an O-lineman of the week. We call it the beef of the week. And that we actually have a big trophy that we sold enough T-shirts our first year. And I had a bunch of kids donate money that we had enough on extra to buy a trophy for it. So I've got a beef of the week trophy. It's this big trophy with a bull on top. And they get that and they hold it in their locker till the next week. It's just another point of pride for them. Everybody's trying to work a little bit harder. And so we make a social media post there. And I'll tell you that not all of it is my graphic design work. These two are mine. I made those. These posts right here, our school district just invested in Box Out Sports. I don't know if your school districts or people use it, but it is such an easy thing because I don't have a ton of time. So that's why, I try to put things together. I was able to put out about twice as many graphics for my kids because Box Out Sports makes it so easy to create a graphic. They have templates like this stuff that would have taken me hours to make in Photoshop. I was able to go into their website and make it in 10 minutes. Like stuff like that. It makes it really easy to turn those things out, and the kids love it, and it's great. Other things we do, in the summertime, we do 7-on-7. Our skill guys go to 7-on-7. Well, guess what? The big boys are back at home working. We're doing our drill work, all that stuff. When they're doing 7-on-7, if we work hard during our indie periods, we're gonna do a 7-on-7 tournament. So it ends up being about 10-on-10 or however many guys. Last year I had about 25 guys in my group. There have been years before where it's about 17-on-17 because I've had almost 40 kids in the group. But we do that, and the kids, they love it. They look out. They look forward to the 7-on-7 days, and it's just another way they're going to have fun. We're going to make it fun. We're not just going to grind them constantly to the point where they are miserable and they hate coming to football practice. We're going to make it fun. They're going to have to go work hard, but we're going to make it fun on top of it. Other things that we do, I'm all about team bonding, group bonding, whatever. On the left, that was into this past year. I have all the kids in my house. I'm big in barbecue. I made them a huge barbecue spread, and we had an end of the year kind of celebration with the entire offensive line group. I also, right before graduation, I bring all the seniors over, and we have a cookout just to celebrate. We make memories. These kids, it's their last time probably all being together, and we have one last hoorah, and I provide all of it for them, that kind of stuff, and it's just a good time. I've been doing that for the past 3 years, and it's been pretty cool. Those kids love it. They look forward to it. And, you have kids like that, especially when you have kids that you enjoy and you enjoy working with. And I'll tell you something, you see in both of those pictures, you can see my son in the corner. They treat my son like just another teammate, and he loves it. And it's like, I told them at the end of this year, my son started coming to practice a little bit more, and he would get so excited. Like, we'd be driving up and he'd be like, man, and he'd say, I can't wait to see my best friends. And I was like, listen, y'all have created an environment for him that he loves to be at football practice. and he looks to you guys like you're his best friends. And I said, and so as much as I'd like to say that I helped do that, you guys have bought that in too, and have created an environment that, you know, people just want to be a part of. I mean, you see that group picture, that's not on the left. That's not everybody in our group. We had about 10 kids that couldn't show up. I mean, I have a huge offensive line group that I've got to roll through. So you think about, you know, how hard it is to get indie reps in. I'm stealing as much time as I can so every kid can get reps. But I had, you know, kids want to play offensive line at Dobyns-Bennett. And, you know, we've got kids that probably should be tight ends that want to be in our group. And, you know, we're not going to tell them no if that's where they want to be. And then this last one, man, this is funny to me. This was one of my seniors last year. He sends me a text. He just turned 18. He said, Coach, I'm a part of the Beef Boy lifestyle. He's like, he went and got a tattoo of the Beef Boy logo. And I mean, it's one of those things that, you know, did I tell him to go out there and get tatted up? Absolutely not. But as a coach, you feel like you made a difference on a kid's life. If something that you did for him, he wants to have that put on his body for the rest of his life. And to me, that was like that was something that was like, man, you know, we're doing something right. These kids enjoy being here. They enjoy being with us. And that's just what it is, man. I enjoy it. I love it. I love working with these kids, and it's great. You know, I love working, you know, I love offensive line play, working with it, but also I thoroughly enjoy, you know, working with every single one of these kids to be successful human beings in life. And if I can help them get a job, I write scholarship recommendations. I give job references to these kids. You know, I tell them at the last day, our banquet, our last game, like, listen, if you guys ever need anything, you've got me for life. Like, you've got a forever reference in me. You know, if you stuck it out for me and worked hard for me, you've got somebody on your side for the rest of your life. And, you know, whether that's, you know, me and my wife have given kids $20 to go get food before, whether that, you know, just little things, just making them know you love them. I mean, if they know that you care about them and you love them, they're going to do 100,000 things for you. They'll push themselves to no end to see you, to help you be successful on your team if they know that you've got their back. And that's part of my mantra and what I do is those kids know every day at the end of practice, I say, I love you guys like you're my own kid. If you need anything, let me know. I know I'll see you tomorrow, but if something happens tonight, call me. And they know I've got an open door with me, and that's it. So,
Coach, got a question right here. Coach Parrott wants to know, you teach drive catch or kick slide?
So let me say this, and there are probably people that will probably fight me on this, but the concept of drive catch, I'm teaching. But my kids, instead of saying drive catch, because that's not what they've heard, I say kick slide. But we are really drive catching.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Every kid, it's not going to be the same. It's not going to look the same. I'm tweaking it for each kid individually as we work through their pass pro, you know, if we're going to drive. But we're drive catching. Yeah. I mean, that's it. It's as simple as that. You create more power that way. You have better leverage that way. When you tell a kid just kick slide without the concept, they're throwing their body all out of length. Their weight distribution is going to be out. You know, that's rule 4 is even weight distribution. Well, drive catching keeps you in that even weight distribution. So technically I'm drive catching, but I don't say drive catch to the kids just because they start thinking about it too much and they've always heard kick slide. Mm-hmm. I just tell them how we are going to kick slide. That
makes sense. And Coach, talk about box out, because I never even heard of that. I mean, I just looked it up real quick, and that looks dope.
It's awesome. Listen, let me see if I can pull that up, because it is one of those things that it's been incredible. I can make a graphic in like 30 seconds if I have everything that I need. So I'm going to pull it up right here and I'll share the screen. Let's see here. So window. So this is what it looks like. So we have it set up. Our athletic department sets it up. And I can go down through here and you can see, like, I made a highlight. You know, we led the way in one game for 310 rushing yards. First play of the game, we busted for you know, a 90, I think it was like a 96-yard run for a touchdown. And so I was able to make this graphic. It's a motion feature graphic. Real quick, you throw everything in there. You just type in what you want on the left side, and you're going to get a graphic.
Wow.
Our athletic department uploads all of our logos in there. So if I wanted to grab a template Like I could literally grab a template, find something random, and the templates are I mean, you've got, and they've even added ones for brackets for, I guess, if March Madness or whatever, because colleges use these things for their sports information. But like you go through, you grab one, player spotlight. You know, you want to spotlight a player, bang, you've got one right there. You can grab, you just hit, you know, add the team, and then you go in and throw your pictures and your information in there. It takes no time at all, and I think it's a little expensive. But for as much as, like, we have a lot of sports at our school, and our district, we have one person who runs the social media, so he's able to go in here and he gets a text of a score of a game. He can go in here, throw a picture up from the team, whether it be whatever, and they have it split up. So I have it for only football stuff. So I get all of our football stuff. Well, he's got it for the entire district, and he can make all kinds of, like, it's just one of those things that they set it up to where it makes it super easy. You know, I have Photoshop, but when you have something like this, you're not going to spend more time than you have to. But it's great. It really is. It's one of those things that it has been a great value for our district. Throwing graphics out there. If you follow KCS, it's Kingsport City Schools. So KCS Athletics, you scroll through there. I mean, you see the content our athletic department throws out there, and it's really cool, and our kids love it, man. It's something that kids love. Social media, they love the graphics, they want all the photos, and we're blessed. I mean, our school district, you know, we've got our football team, we've got a guy who works on our staff. He's not a coach. His only job is multimedia, so he's got a video camera at practice every day, and he's got an expensive camera. He's got video, you know, experience, and he's making highlight films for us every week. And he's filming, he's on the sideline at games with one of those tripods, you know, working. It's like, you know, like big college, like one of those things that, you know, we've got graphics. We've got a Jumbotron in our stadium. So, you know, our kids are doing, you saw in the 1B for the week picture, it's in a studio. Like, we created a studio in our alumni room and took headshots, video shots. And that we have intro videos for our kids on the Jumbotron where they're, you know, we've got a D lineman that takes a freaking cone and is like slamming the cone and like ripping his shirt open kind of thing, and those kids love it, man. It really is. It is really one of those things that they buy in, and if you can get 85 kids plus to buy in, or actually, you know, we've got 85 plus on the roster. You can get 30 of those kids to buy in. It's gonna help you be successful.
No doubt. All right, Coach. I'm gonna go ahead and keep it rolling. I appreciate. I loved the talk on culture.
Absolutely.
You know, several guys have said, you know, they're gonna steal some stuff and
steal it, man. Listen, shoot me a message. You saw on there my Twitter, at Coach Hayworth on Twitter, on Instagram. Shoot me a message if you want me to share that slideshow with you or anything. Like, I'll be more than welcome to share it with you. If you got questions, anything just about what we do, you know, just shoot me a message. I'm an open book. I like I said, I steal things from everybody. Like I'm no genius here. I'm just a guy who uses my resources effectively. Is ultimately what it is. I've learned from a lot of really good people, and I'm using that to help teach the next generation of kids. So shoot me a message at Coach Hayworth, and I will answer any questions, share anything I've got with you. I have no problem with that. So I appreciate you, Coach. You know, this is awesome what you're putting together here. Anytime offensive line minds can get together in one spot and learn a little something, I think it's a wonderful thing. So, you know, I appreciate you putting this all together and having me on to speak.
No doubt. I appreciate you, Coach.
Absolutely. Appreciate it.